The year was 1954. With their sturdy, broken-down microphones, they were headed for greatness in the American West. Jack and Ron in the morning. If you don't laugh like this, you're probably normal.
The following entertainment special contains mature subject matter. Parents may consider some of the program content unsuitable for children. Parental discretion is advised.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's the bad boys of radio. Here's Jack and Ron.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on? Jack Dam Elliott, Ron Dam Williams, right here live at Othello's Italian Restaurant, Edmond, Oklahoma. There's two locations, Edmond on Main Street and Broadway in historic downtown Edmond, and of course in Norman on Campus Corner. You need to check out Othello's. They got some great things, like Monday is build your own pasta day. You pick the pasta, pick the sauce, pick the protein. You want chicken, you want beef, whatever. You want Alfredo, you want red sauce. And then on Tuesday,
I want you to pay for it.
Tuesday, it's only $12.50 for build your own pasta.
Hey, no problem for you, man. Come on, we'll have dinner together.
Well, it's a good idea because on Tuesday you can buy, because Tuesday is 2-for-1 Parmesan. You get chicken Parmesan, veal, or eggplant, and it's 2 for 1.
I'm digging that.
Hell of a deal.
I'm digging that.
Check out Othello's. Meanwhile, we're here today at Othello's. Want to say thanks to Flash Hauler, the great sponsor of this program that moves merchandise like Uber moves people. Flash Hauler moves merchandise and tons of it, and we'll tell you how that all works in just a little bit. Meanwhile, we got a lot of things going on here today. Oh, I wanted to mention two real quick off the top of my head. Powerball tonight, $747 million. $747 million. So, well, if we do win, you probably won't see us next week.
Yeah, I was about to say, now, if you don't play, my chances just went up by 1.
There you go. Here's the deal. Here's what I was thinking, too. Guy goes to his wife and says, hey, if I won the lottery, what would you do? She says, I'd take half and leave. He goes, okay, I won $12. Here's $6. Stay in touch.
Jeez.
Richard liked it. We got to say thanks to Richard, too. Richard is the guy who's in charge of all the gear, all the setup, all the executive producers' chores, who makes this whole thing work each and every week. And by the way, we got our website running, jackandron.com. Jackandron.com. Check it out.
Now, that's not all. Now, there's something else that's going on with Spotify, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, Spotify. On Wednesdays, we blow up Spotify because we take all the audio from this video podcast. We extract it, Richard does, and then he loads it on Spotify on Wednesday. Plus, on Spotify, you can leave us a voice message.
There you go.
Yeah, if you want to go, you just go in there, log in, look for it. There's a place to click on and leave us a voice message. Anything you want to say to us is welcome.
Yeah.
Good, bad, ugly, it doesn't matter. Feel free. All right.
We like the good, though.
Yeah. We like the
might
good a lot.
respond to that a little bit better.
Okay.
But,
what do we got to get to? We got to get to Too Tough Trivia, but are we going to do that first and then asinine trivia with Richard?
Yeah, and then, maybe touch on what's happening this week. We're talking about the Super Bowl. Actually, the Super Bowl is Sunday. Sunday is the beginning of a new week. So next Sunday, we have the Super Bowl. And, of course, that is a conversation that everyone has, and they have their reasons for picking one team over the other. Sure. I'm going to ask right now, who you picking?
I'm going with Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. Richard?
Yeah, Philly.
Okay, same here.
Way to go.
All right. Well,
ding, ding, ding.
It's an amazing thing. I don't know if it's where you go or what have you, but more women want the Chiefs to win. More men figure correctly, I might add, that the Eagles will win.
Well, I guess I think the Eagles are a little more manly, and Kansas City is a little more effeminate. So I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles.
I think, I don't know about the feminine part, but I will say, I forgot which coach said that defenses win football games, and boy,
Dick Butkus, I think.
Yeah.
Was it Dick Butkus? Mike Ditka.
Yeah.
Mike Ditka always said that. Excuse me. Making me.
Get some water.
One is good, but well, I know one thing: the number one scoring offense is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
The number one scoring defense, Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
So they're number one in each category. It should be great.
Should be a good game.
Oh yeah.
I just wish I were there. Primarily because the weather will be a hell of a lot warmer than it is here.
What's stopping you?
Probably a financial.
You could
financial
drive
problem.
there. You could drive there.
Yeah, it's only a 15-hour drive to Phoenix.
Hey, you could drive there.
God knows I've driven there enough.
And
over the years.
and you know what? And it's going to be nice. What? Why not? Why not get a
Supposed to be about
bus?
78 degrees, I think.
Why
that
not
day.
get a bus?
Yeah.
You know,
a whole bunch of people, we'll all go.
Not a big giant bus. You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
but a good bus. Everybody pays a certain amount, and off you go. Let's go.
There you go. Hire
All
a
right.
driver.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe some people that even check us out on Spotify, maybe they can call and put in their reservation.
All right, very well. Are we going to get to Too Tough Trivia right here and right now?
Let's do it.
All right.
What animal is older than trees?
What animal is older than trees?
What animal is older than trees?
I thought maybe a snail or some sort of crustacean because, you know, when you see some of these spindly looking things that come out of the ocean, it would seem to me that would be the type of animal that would probably have been around for thousands and thousands of years.
Mm-hmm. That was a long explanation, and let me tell you right now, it's
not a shrimp?
There's not. No,
It's
there's
probably
not
a dog.
But I've looked at this and I said, older than trees. Trees have been around forever. But once you hear the answer, it'll all make sense to you.
All right, we'll get to the answer at the end of this podcast. By the way, coming up here, we've got some great audio for you. We've got words that make people cringe. We have news of the I'll be damned. We have a dumbass joke of the day, Tribond. Oh, so much more. So hang tight. Meanwhile, we got to get to asinine trivia. We quiz Richard, the executive producer of this bombastic broadcast each week, where we hit him with asinine trivia. Trivia so easy it's asinine.
I hope he gets it because, you know, all of the people that work for him, if he doesn't get it, he treats them so mean.
Oh, I know.
He just instead of talking, he just snaps at them. So
You don't want to be around him in that
hey
case.
guys, we're rooting for him. Honest, we are. Okay.
Too tough. I'm not
Thank
too
you,
tough.
guys.
Asinine trivia. We're rooting for you. Trivia is so easy. It's asinine. Question number 1, Richard. Name one item they might serve at the Waffle House.
Waffle.
Got it.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say a big old giant can of whip ass.
Whip ass.
Yeah. Big can of whip ass, brother.
Definitely get that.
You definitely get that at Waffle House about 3 a.m. Question number 2. I like to eat this brown piece of candy that looks like a turd, but it's really called a Tootsie.
Bro,
Got it.
Whoa.
those are so disgusting.
That's a tough question.
Those are so disgusting.
Tootsie
Tough
Roll?
question.
Candy for me is just disgusting. I don't like it.
You don't like candy?
Oh, get it. Just
I don't
get a
ever eat
small
candy.
Snickers, man. It's about an inch,
What,
maybe
Tootsie
half.
Roll?
No, a Snickers. If
Oh,
you,
yeah, I mean-
candy.
Do you
If
eat
I
candy?
need-
Because I don't
only
eat.
when I need like peanut butter or like my body's craving some sugar, then
Yeah.
I get like a peanut butter and chocolate like Snicker or something like that.
Wow.
See, I get a peanut butter, put it there and put some jelly on top of it, fold it over like that, and drink a
On
big
bread?
big glass of water.
On bread or toast or something like that?
On bread, so I
Yeah.
can fold
Fold
it
it.
over. Yeah,
Any of you guys got bread makers?
No.
yeah, that's work, man.
Do you?
I just ordered one.
Did you really?
Yeah, they
Okay.
look easy.
What are you, Gordon Ramsay
I
now?
don't know, man. I'm getting sick of buying bread.
All right, Emerald.
Well, wait till you buy all the stuff to make the bread at home.
But I got to admit, I've had homemade bread before, and it is really, really good.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
When you
That's
get
the
when you get us, bring us some.
I
would you?
definitely will.
Okay.
I'll make y'all a loaf.
I'm interested too. I think it's interesting that you do like candy because I don't eat any.
No, I don't like candy.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't eat candy at all.
I
I don't know
quit
what.
eating it when I was like
My wife
8.
will buy candy, we'll have like a bag of Twizzlers or whatever and a bag of Snickers. And it would sit there for 5 years if it were up to me, but she can get rid of it in 5
That's
minutes.
weird. See, I still got some what's it, Halloween candy? Definitely some Christmas candy.
Oh, yeah.
Still around. So, oh well. Come over to your house, bring my own. Got it.
I got bread. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm ready for question number 3 if you're ready, Richard.
I'm ready.
All right, question 3 with asinine trivia. Name the 2 guys who have won more broadcast awards than any other broadcasters in Oklahoma, who also enjoy rubbing chocolate mint ice cream on their chests
Oh, that's a head scratcher.
while driving a 4-wheeler through a wall of fire wearing nothing but skin-tight rubber party pants.
Oh, no, that's an ass scratcher.
And who also performed the #1 video podcast in America.
Come on, baby.
Jack and Ron.
Yeah.
Got it.
That was a lot of adjectives.
I know, a lot of work to get there, but you managed. You did well. I'm proud of you. Excellent job.
right.
Excellent job.
Well, I'll tell you, usually we'll do this during the email break. That part I was going to rant on about because I came in angry today.
All right.
And you guys are really nice. You put up with my anger, and I hope it's worth it as far as you guys are concerned. But I do know one thing. Have you noticed that during the weekends and especially during the mornings, you have all of these diet plans and stuff, men and women. Here, I couldn't wear this. Now look at me. I haven't been able to wear this for 5 years. And I keep saying, who keeps clothes 5 and 10 years that you can't wear?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
And I said, that's weird. I wonder if anybody thinks about that. One woman said 10 years. I said, you held on to this not flattering dress for 10 years and you're happy you can get back in it? Yeah.
I do hold on to clothes a long time. And I was wearing a sweatshirt over the weekend and I showed it to my wife. I said, how long have I had this? She says, I don't know. I said, at least 10 years. But because I can still fit in all this stuff. So as long as I can still fit in it and it's not like what you'd call out of style, it's just a sweatshirt, it's fine, right?
Oh, heck yeah. And you know what? The man or the woman, as the case may be, makes the style. Like for me, I haven't worn this in 2 radio stations.
Really?
This little vest.
Wow.
Yeah. I was digging around trying to figure out something.
But it still looks in style to me.
Well, yeah. It is, man. There's no problem. I wear it around. I feel good. And that was one of the reasons that as I was going through the closet, I'm saying, why do people always hear these pants? And, and I said, why are you holding on to all these clothes?
Yeah.
Until I realized it's a commercial, man.
Aha.
It's just a commercial. Don't take it too seriously.
All right, we want to say hi to Chris Johnson, who says you should take some of the Flash Hauler money to buy some tickets. Oh, I see, to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I guess. And what else did he say?
And then hire Flash Hauler to haul you out to the big game.
Chris, that's a pretty good idea, man. Very nice. Colton Coldy. Is that Colton Coldy? Hurst?
Yeah, Colton Coley Hurst.
All right. He's watching. Hey there, he says. Hey, good to have you with us, guys. Appreciate it. All right, we got to get to some, is it audio time already? I think so. We got some audio here. This happened a couple weeks ago. It was during a basketball game featuring Duquesne and Loyola Chicago, college basketball game. And we talk about Flash Hauler being much like, Uber transports people, but there's also Uber Eats. Well, here an Uber Eats delivery guy walks onto the court with a food order during play. How did he even get in there? Here's the TV play-by-play announcers running the replay, and you'll be interested to find out who the food was for, a delivery. Listen to this.
We got an official's timeout. Somebody came on the floor. Uber Eats delivery or something there is carrying some McDonald's.
Was he going to deliver the McDonald's to somebody on the court?
That's an Uber Eats sticker. Let's see if we can see this. No, this is going to be the turnover in the
There
court.
he is,
There
right
he
there in
is.
the corner. Yay.
So this guy's actually, who's he delivering it to?
The ref.
The
ref
official?
said later. Give it to me later, not now.
All right, who placed the order? I mean, the order was for the ref. And here's my question that's even maybe more pertinent. Where the hell is security? A guy with a bag of food walks onto the court while the ball is in play. How did he get that far?
Feet away from where the action is. Now, I don't know if you guys hung around and because they played it a couple of times. They think it was a setup because they said the guy delivering the food had a microphone.
So it might have been part of a TikTok scam or some such thing.
I'm glad you said that. That's exactly what they said.
Really?
Yep. Exactly what they said. But that's crazy. I agree with you. If I'm a player, I don't feel too secure now. You let a delivery guy bringing in some food just wander in and wander onto the court. And here's the other part. How stupid is this guy? You see a ball game going on, you just gonna walk onto the court?
Well, not to be critical, but
You gotta be critical. Man.
okay. Just how brilliant do you have to be to work for Uber Eats and walk into a ball game not thinking twice about the fact that there's a game in progress? Where's your mindset, dude?
It has to be a prank.
It had to be a prank.
That's what I'm thinking.
Had to be a prank.
But it was a
I
good
don't think
one.
anybody who works for Uber Eats would be that damn dumb.
No, that's dangerous.
Yeah. They're bringing you food, man. They could do anything to your food.
And the other thought was, he walks in with a bag of food. Who's to say he couldn't walk in with a handgun? Oh,
Yep.
There you go.
I'd love to know when he came in with that sack. Did they say, okay, what?
We checked the bag.
Yeah, okay, it's food. Okay, go ahead. But still, to make it down, you've been to Thunderhome games and
I've
stuff.
been to many a game, and man, they check you like.
Thank you. How do you actually get down to the court?
I mean, 'cause they check you out thoroughly. You know, they have the damn dogs sniffing your crotch and everything. I mean, anytime you go in, like the Paycom Center for a game or anywhere.
They never sniff my crotch, man.
Well, I kind of pay them extra for that.
You get y'all. And speaking of sports, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but a lot of the students and a lot of the other folks in Philadelphia, they feel that they will win. They are now calling for a day out of school, a holiday, the following Monday.
It should be.
And they want this to happen all the time from now on. After each Super Bowl game,
It should be.
The following Monday is a holiday. And they said, I tell you what, we'll trade you Columbus Day for day after Super Bowl day.
Yeah, because Columbus has been dead how long?
Yeah. Now, why do we have Columbus Day?
I
I don't know.
He didn't discover America.
No, he discovered India, didn't he?
India, and somewhere in the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, isn't it amazing? From school up until now, we were believing Columbus discovered America. No, he didn't. Yeah,
It was a good story while it
It was
lasted.
a good story.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a quick break here. We're going to take a commercial break, come right back. You want to stay through the break because we've got some great stuff on the other side. Plus, these commercials are like top flight. Check it out. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. Hang on.
Hey, Jack, BK, I need some wings. Are you guys up there?
Affirmative. Your backup is cloud-based. It's all on the cloud nowadays.
That's funny. But you guys have the wings?
Winger, Jack. Winger. Winger. Hey, they had a couple of big hits back in the 80s, remember? Winger, big hair.
Great wings don't just fall from the sky. They come from Louie's, where we're preparing food fresh daily. Come try one of our great new sandwiches. Or wings with any of 7 delicious sauces. Louie's, we're in your neighborhood.
We've got this down to a science. Over. Yeah, we're just not up here winging it.
Hey, Al, I thought we were meeting at Othello's.
Hey, Jack, I am at Othello's.
Well, I'm looking around and I don't see you. Well, wait, are you at Othello's in Edmond?
No, I'm at Othello's in Campus Corner in Norman.
Oh, great. Well, fortunately, both Othello's have great Italian food.
They sure do, and I'm having the baked ziti.
Ooh, I'm having chicken marsala.
Let's continue with the meeting.
Yeah, sure thing, over the phone, but I need one thing.
What's that?
Your credit card number, because you're buying. Othello's Italian Restaurant on Campus Corner in Norman and in downtown Edmond.
You bought it online, and now you need to haul that big couch. Flash hauler it. Bought a washer or dryer and need to transport it from the seller's location to yours? Flash hauler it. Have office furniture to move across town? Flash hauler it. Car breakdown and you need a tow? Flash hauler it. Anytime you need furniture or appliances moved or need a tow, Flash hauler it. Haul it, tow it, deliver it with Flash hauler. Download the Flash hauler app free. Do it now. Flash hauler. Hey, thanks for coming back. The fact of the matter is,
I started to get up and leave, but I came back.
Thanks for coming back. Got to tell you a little bit more about Flash Hauler, the major sponsor of the podcast. Flash Hauler moves merchandise like Uber moves people. If you've got a washer, a dryer, a sofa, a couch, whatever it might be, a love seat, a lawnmower, something too big for your vehicle to transport, they can do it for you. And they feature a concierge light, which provides just the vehicle. And they'll come out, you load it up, they'll drive it to wherever, you unload it. They got Concierge Premium, which features a vehicle with a couple people who come, they'll load it, unload it. And then they got a new feature called Nice and Free. You want to hear about this. Nice and Free means they have items that have been donated to Flash Hauler. People have moved out. They've maybe downsized, moved into a retirement center, and they've given up a couch, a wash machine, or whatever because they no longer need them. Flash Hauler now has that. And they'll be more than willing to give it to you if you want it. All you do is have Flash Hauler haul it to you.
All right, now, here's something. I want to do something to the bedroom. I want to get it painted, and I want to put in either new flooring or a rug. But, I'm kind of up in the years, man. I don't have the strength to move all that furniture around, and then move it back. Can Flash Hauler help me?
They can, Ron. They have a special feature called Hero Helper.
All right.
And that person comes, and if you're having like carpet replaced with hardwood floors, they'll take all that furniture out of that room, move it off to another area for you, and then have the floors replaced. Then they come back and move it back in place in that room where it came from.
Outstanding.
The Hero Helper. Check it out and check out.
I'm not moving that stuff.
Here's what you need to do. Go to flashhauler.com. FLASHOLR.com. Flashhauler.com. They've got all the information right there. By the way, they also do moving. If you're moving from, say, Norman to Midwest City or Norman to Edmond or what, they'll come in and do it all. They'll pack it all up. It's called MOD, M-O-D, Moving on Demand. So check out Flash Hauler at flashhauler.com.
Please, you won't be sorry.
All right, we got to get to our email because we get a ton of it. People with problems, people in crisis, people with questions.
Yeah, this time around, though.
Oh?
It's something that I saw from Santos, Governor Santos. And, this is Black History Month.
That's Florida, isn't it?
Pardon me?
Is that Florida?
Florida? No, that's
that's Florida.
That's
Okay,
DeSantos.
okay.
DeSantos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Florida.
Gotcha.
Governor DeSantos.
And he came up with a lot of the stuff that he wanted to do as far as the critical race theory. And he said some things that kind of, to be honest, kind of pissed me off.
Oh, man, I can't imagine.
And one, he was talking about getting some type of reasoning. And as far as black and brown folks, he said the zombie things that you're trying to get through. And I said, zombie? What the hell is... And that I was already angry at him, and that just boiled over. I said, when I get an opportunity, I'll have to let him know, because what he's talking about is minimizing black folks in American history. And black history is American history. This is where it happened. And there isn't enough that's going on. We were opening up, and now all of a sudden he wants to shut it down, and it's all political. They're just a lot. But for instance, Matthew Henson, I say, you know who Matthew Henson is? And everybody will say, no. Well, Jack may know. But at the same time, he's the guy, he was the first person to the North Pole. Who did you think? Who did you think it was? Perry? No. Perry was sitting back there with frostbitten toes and everything else in a sled. Matthew Henson went ahead, followed all the right directions, and had a little camp set up. He was the first one. Perry got all of the credit because it was his expedition. At the Adventurers Club in New York, they wouldn't let Henson in. He had to go around to the back. These are things that you won't hear about. These are things that just flies in the face of education. What do you want to read? Shouldn't it be up to the parents to check out exactly what you're reading and for them to go in that direction instead of somebody saying, you can't teach that in school. They can't learn that in school. I don't think that's proper. You know what? Pick one, DeSantis. Just pick one, and you know how I feel about it.
There you go.
Thank you very much for your time and your patience in letting me get that off my chest.
All right, very well. We've got to move on because it's time for Roy to check in, isn't it? Roy, the movie guy, has an update for us. I wonder what movie he's going to review today. Do we know?
No.
No. Hey, surprise for everybody.
Here comes Roy.
Come on, Roy.
You guys, well, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend at the box office, men, if you're listening, if you have a girlfriend, if you're married, and you want to get your wife or girlfriend hot and bothered and excited for Valentine's Day weekend, then take them to see Magic Mike's Last Dance, starring Channing Tatum and Salma Hayek, directed by Steven Soderbergh. This is the third and final movie of the franchise for Magic Mike. Mike Lane takes to the stage once again when a business deal that went bust leaves him broke and bartending in Florida. Hoping for one last hurrah, Mike heads to London with a wealthy socialite who lures him with an offer he can't refuse. and an agenda all her own. With everything on the line, he soon finds himself trying to whip a hot new roster of talented dancers into shape. With a runtime of 1 hour and 52 minutes long, rated R. And that's a look at what's opening up this weekend at the box office. Back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, it was a slow weekend except for one movie, and I'll tell you about that during the Hollywood Update. This movie is now the number one movie. It replaced Avatar: The Way of Water. It beat it, and the new number one movie, we'll tell you about it when we take a look at the Hollywood Update.
I do like Selma Hayek, and she's in this new
I
Magic
love
Book, yeah.
her. I absolutely love her. They did an interview with her, and she was talking about her career and a lot of the stuff she had to go through, and I'm sure a lot of the stuff she had to go through that she didn't want to talk about. But I agree with you. I think she is a wonderful, wonderful individual. Now, something else that's coming up, you may be able to see this very shortly. Diapers, not adult diapers, children's diapers.
What about them?
They now are working on, hopefully it'll be out before the year's out, diapers that let you know when the kid is dirty.
Start playing music for you?
No, they have some stuff in the diaper.
Start playing Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap?
Hey, maybe.
There you go.
But it'll let you know to what degree, in case you know. And I'm just saying, why do that? Haven't we been able to figure out when a baby's dirty without having to look for a computer or anything else, or wait for some type of feedback?
Like a Bluetooth to alarm my phone?
It's some lithium and whatever else that's in the diaper, and they're going to have to check all that out. But all of that's done. But when there's some moisture, then that sets off one alarm, which sets off another, and just watch for it, folks.
Probably
Diapers,
communicates with your phone.
Yeah.
Let you know.
Or your little computer, it's the same thing. It's your phone. But look for this. Diapers that let you know when your kid has done his or her deed.
All right. By the way, we got to say hi to Sharita Barrett, who's checking us out, along with Christy Stewart. Christy Stewart, worked with her years ago at WKY Radio, many, many years ago. Very nice lady. Lives up there in Toronto, where it's always cold. Let's see who else. Oh, Sonny Beam is watching. Thank you, Sonny. Appreciate that. All right, we've got to get to, we got some more audio for you. It's an interesting piece of audio. It starts out with some professional actors or voice actors reciting words that make people cringe, words that people are not comfortable with. And then it segues right into a Jack and Ron show excerpt from years ago when we were doing our own words that make people cringe. So kind of check this out. Listen to the words that cringe, and then Jack and Ron.
Moist. Squelch.
Secrete.
Panties.
Defecate.
Flaccid.
Yeast. Chunk. Orifice. Coagulate. Ointment. Crevice.
We were talking about words that disturb people, like uvula, which sounds dirty but isn't, because it's just the skin in the back of your throat, or masticate, which means to chew. And then the word panty came up, and I understand one of the ladies in our sales office really hates the word panty.
Yeah.
And it doesn't bother me.
Went by her desk just a moment ago and said the word panty, and man, it wasn't the usual look. It was kind of like, maybe I better keep moving along.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so Macy's got another word for us. It is?
Weenus.
Weenus. Now, that sounds dirty.
It does.
What is weenus?
Really?
Yeah, it's the skin at your elbow that doesn't have any feeling.
The skin on your elbow that doesn't have any feeling.
Yeah, it's like straighten your arm and pull it away from your elbow.
Touch my weenus.
Well, now I'm playing with my own weenus right now. As a matter
We're
of
all
fact,
playing with our
guess
weenuses.
what? I'm playing with my weenus with both hands.
My, Ron, you have a big weenus. So that's what that is. Weenus is the skin on the end of your elbow.
Excess of weenus.
I love that. That's awesome. Huh. Hi, Kiss. Can we help you?
Hey, how about this fruit? Kumquat.
Kumquat. That's another one. Yeah. Thanks for the call, brother.
Now, we can say all these words that sound like maybe something else, and we say that with impunity.
I hear it'll make my arm feel better if I rub a kumquat on my weenus.
Oh, that's good.
Hi, Kiss FM. You're on the air. Hello.
Do you
know you can pinch your weenus as hard as you want to with your fingers and it don't hurt?
It's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because it's got like no nerve.
You have no nerve endings in your elbow.
Thanks for calling,
And
sir.
then it is amazing as a child what one part of your body gets hurt and skin up more than any other.
Yeah.
Your
Your
knees and your weenus.
Well,
It's true.
people cringe. I wonder if there's any others that people think of when they hear that stuff. By the way, we got to say hi to Chandra Tucker. Sandra's checking us out today, too. Appreciate that. Always good to have you with us. Let's see here. Do we have another? I'm supposed to go to News of the I'll Be Damned, and I can't find my News of the I'll Be Damned. I know I put it together.
Say what?
I know. I can't find it.
Did you give it to me on accident?
Maybe I gave it to you. Is it in there?
You did not give it to me.
I must have lost it somewhere in the process of putting all this stuff together. But my News of the I'll Be Damned has disappeared.
Wait, let me look over here. And the answer is I don't know where it is.
I don't either. Oh well, because I remember I put all this stuff, I assembled it all together yesterday, had it all laid out, put it all together, and I have no idea where it went. Oh well. So we'll miss News of the I'll Be Damned today, but we'll have a double dose next week. How's that? Meanwhile,
well, we can move some stuff because we go right into another audio. We can move some stuff from the bottom and maybe move it into that time slot, at least for right now.
I'm scared.
Dumbass joke, for instance.
Well, we got insurance commercial or dumbass joke, and we got sleazy, trashy showbiz.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
But I mean, coming up right now, right after that audio,
okay.
I was thinking maybe something to break it up, but that's up to you.
How about sleazy, trashy showbiz report?
Well, I'm down with that.
All right, let's do that.
Don't you like the way we settle things right here, right now, live in living color, right in front of your
the
face?
rock, paper, scissors should pop out.
Top flight broadcast professionalism. Telling you. How the hell did I screw that up? Well, we'll get to that next week. How's that?
Hey, Kathy Jo Higgins is checking us out right now, as well as Cindy Boldy. Hi.
Hey, how are you? How are you?
How you doing? I'm watching him.
All right, time for our sleazy, trashy showbiz report.
Let's do it.
That's you.
Well, I thought we were going to do the dumbass joke.
No, we're going to do
sleazy.
Sleazy trash, and then we'll get to the joke.
Yeah,
because we'll do sleazy trash, then audio, then dumbass.
See, I'm looking over here. My mind's gone. Okay. Hey, what support Megan Fox gave her man, Machine Gun Kelly, at the Grammys? She showed up with a broken wrist and a concussion.
How'd she receive those?
That's what a lot of people want to know. And they still don't know. Either she's really clumsy or Machine Gun Kelly got angry. Put it that way.
Maybe it happened during a rough bout of sex.
Broken wrist?
Yeah.
Good God.
I know that's rough.
Yeah, well,
that's rough.
Taking your word for that, man.
All right.
DeMar Hamlin, who had a cardiac event at that NFL game, not doing as well as hoped. His parents now say he's facing a extra long rehab.
Wow.
So he was there at the Giants' last game, but they say he's just because he was there doesn't mean that he's bouncing back that quick. They say it's going to be a long time. Well, a new arena survey has listed a list of the top overrated singers. This is pretty good, coming right after the Grammys. Let's look at the top 5. We don't need to go right down the list. Some surprises. Top 5, Ed Sheeran, Madonna, Justin Bieber, Jennifer Lopez, and Jim Morrison. The top 5, they say, are overrated.
All right, I'll go back. The only one out of that bunch that I'll disagree with is Jim Morrison. I've always thought that Jim Morrison, lead vocalist for The Doors, I always felt as though he had one of the best voices in rock and roll. Jim Morrison, without a doubt, to me, was one of the best voices ever. So I'll disagree with that. I mean, I don't disagree with Ed Sheeran and who else they mentioned? Madonna. Madonna never really, to me, struck me as having like a lot of range in her voice. So I don't disagree with the 4, but I do disagree with Jim Morrison.
All right. Mark that down, would you, Richard? Okay. AJ Holmes has stopped wearing her wedding ring. She and her boyfriend, of course, lost their jobs with the Today Show Part 3.
It was Good Morning America.
Good Morning America. Yeah. Well, doesn't matter. They're out of work.
And because they were both married to other people, and then they were,
Yeah, still married, by the way.
Yeah, and then they were still wanking each other, though.
Yeah, and AJ's, not AJ, doggone it. His wife has now stopped wearing her ring. And I would think, well, gee, shouldn't that have happened like a month ago when they're off on a big romantic trip or whatever the case may be? Well, talking about the Super Bowl coming up, since they're the first brothers to play against each other in a Super Bowl game, we're talking about Travis and Jason Kelsey. Now they are trying to get their mom to come down and flip the coin.
I heard they were going to do that for sure. I heard that this morning I heard on Today's show that was in fact going to happen.
Okay, well, I know the number of petitions were out to get that done. Should be quite interesting. It doesn't matter. She says, hey, he's making money, I made them. All right, Irene Cara's cause of death has now been listed. I don't like the way this one sounds. Hypertension and high cholesterol is what killed her.
Wow.
And it's kind of terrible. Well, a number of contestants from the Squid Game, I don't know how many of you guys saw that television show Squid Game, they now say the conditions that you saw were real. The conditions were real. However, the show is fixed. Well, Knock at the Cabin passed Avatar: The Way of Water with $14.2 million, the first time Avatar has been out of the number one spot since it got there.
It's just called Knock of the Cabin.
Yeah, Knock at the Cabin.
Is that a creepy movie?
Yeah, like you pick somebody you want to kill or wants to go away. If not, hundreds of thousands of people will die. Dave Bautista.
So creepy.
Yeah, well,
Bautista's in it.
Yeah,
Oh.
He's the guy that's if you see the trailer for it, he's the one doing all the talking. Say we faced this before, and it's crazy. I want to see it. Well, it seems Adele says she's only going to the Super Bowl for one reason, and that's to see Rihanna. I'd like to go see Rihanna at the Super Bowl game. Bonnie Raitt won Song of the Year, and we were talking about the Grammys. These are folks who've never won a Grammy, ever. The Who, Journey, Miley Cyrus, Guns N' Roses, The Beach Boys, Supremes, Katy Perry, Queen, Jimi Hendrix. Now, I will say this, the Supremes, they did receive a Lifetime Award, but it wasn't a Grammy. Never won one.
Wow. See, that surprised me. Jimi Hendrix, the Supremes,
The Who, Queen,
the Who, Queen,
Guns N' Roses,
Queen for sure. I mean, I'm surprised that none of them had won a Grammy.
But the Beach Boys have been around
Beach
forever.
Boys, yeah, Beach Boys for sure.
Yeah.
They were like instrumental in kind of, I guess starting that whole surf sound, surf music kind of thing. So I would have thought that they would have won a Grammy by now.
Nope, never.
Unbelievable.
There are a lot of others that have not won a Grammy as well. We won't go through those, but I was really surprised, especially when you look at some of the idiots who have won one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that is your Hollywood update.
All right, we got some more audio to get to. A favorite commercial of ours over the years dealt with an insurance company that specialized in motorcycle insurance. Motorcycle insurance, for those of you who, ride. It's the Tyler Harris Insurance Group. Check out their commercial from a few years back. This is good stuff.
There are over 500,000 motorcyclists in the United States, most of whom will bite the asphalt in some sort of accident this year. Is permanent disfigurement or brain damage any reason to stop riding? Tyler Harris says no. Tyler Harris is the area's foremost legal expert in getting you financial awards for your motorcycle mishap. Here's a word from four-time accident victim Gary Busey.
Tyler Harris got me big bucks for injuries in an accident that was completely my fault.
And how about these satisfied Tyler Harris customers?
Tyler Harris got me $480,000. Tyler Harris got me a settlement. Thanks, Tyler Harris. Tyler Harris got me this great toy.
Whether you like to push excessive speeds, cut in and out of traffic, or just plain get off on breaking the law, Tyler Harris can work for you. He'll bust his behind when you bust your head.
Tyler Harris, they'll take care of you. You need motorcycle insurance. They're the guys to call on.
Man,
Tyler Harris.
Sounds like somebody that I know locally.
Yeah, doesn't it though?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. Pepper wins. Okay. We got to say hi to DJ Barry. DJ Barry says, afternoon, fellas. Hey, thanks for checking us out. All right, we got to get to the dumbass joke of the day. You guys ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right, dumbass joke of the day. We have 3 very cheesy jokes to choose from. We ask Ron to pick one of the cheesy jokes. So, yes, again, Ron gets to pick his cheese. 3 jokes today: the construction worker, the classroom, and the dentist. Construction worker, classroom, dentist.
I'm all for people being employed. The construction worker.
All right, construction worker named Dave. Dave is in a group therapy session telling his story in front of the doctor and others in the group. Construction worker Dave says, my name is Dave. I'm a good, honest guy. I'm loyal to my wife. I work hard every day. Does anybody label me as Dave the hard worker? I don't think so. The doctor says, well, normally no one calls anybody that. It's very common to just accept a person for who they are so you can feel a little better. The doctor says, please continue with your story, Dave. Dave, the construction worker, says, well, I built 2 houses, painted 10 fences, donated blood to 5 people in need. Does anybody label me as Dave, the house builder, fence painter, or blood donor? No, I don't think so. Doctor says, okay, Dave, so what's your point? Dave says, my point is you have sex with just 1 goat and all of a sudden you have a label.
That was aggressive.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, he's nasty.
Yeah, okay.
That's a nasty man.
Well, I mean, he wanted to be labeled, a blood donor, a home builder, but no.
But he's nasty.
But no, he's, he has trouble, has sex with a goat.
I told you about having to explain these, didn't I?
Here's another one for you. 3rd grade teacher asked her students one by one, stand in front of the class, tell us what your daddy does. Little Mary says, my daddy's a doctor. He saves people's lives. Well, that's wonderful, Mary, says the teacher. What about you, Jane? What's your daddy do? Jane says, my daddy's a lawyer. He puts bad people in jail. Very good, Jane, says the teacher. Okay, Johnny, what about your daddy? Johnny says, my daddy is dead. Teacher says, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Johnny. What did he do before he died? Johnny says, he turned blue and crapped in his pants.
Wow.
It's a rough Monday.
Man, what the hell happened to you this weekend, man? Come in, we're all grumpy.
Does anybody want another one?
We need another one.
Yeah.
By the way, my friend Mike Monshak is watching. I'll bet he's laughing his ass off. So is John Bennett. He's watching too. Here's the deal. A guy with a toothache goes to the dentist. The dentist says, I have to pull that tooth out, so I'm going to use the needle to give you Novocaine. The guy says, no way, I can't take the needles. The dentist says, okay, then I'll use nitrous oxide to, inhale through your nostrils. The patient says, no, I can't stand that stuff. And the dentist says, well, can you take a pill? And the guy says, sure. So the doctor hands him a blue pill, and he says, take this, it's Viagra. The patient says, I didn't know Viagra worked for pain. And the dentist says, it doesn't, but you're going to need something to hold on to when I pull that tooth.
There we go.
Come on.
Okie dokie.
Jeez. All right. Well, there you go.
What?
Hey, look at our friend Nancy.
Whoa.
Nancy from Othello's. What do you got there, Nancy?
Valentine's special for you to eat.
Valentine's special for us to check out. Look at this.
It's halibut. You like fish.
Oh, halibut?
Yeah.
Oh, God,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah. You got some utensils there and everything?
And 3
Wow.
forks?
Woo, look at this.
Thank you.
Halibut with shrimp. Now, is this part of your Valentine's Day dinner?
Yes. And cheesy risotto.
Cheesy risotto.
Oh, man.
With shrimp and halibut. Oh, my God, that looks so good.
Take a picture. Now I don't have anybody to eat it. So you guys get to eat it.
Well, did you take the picture yet? Okay.
Yeah, it's all yours to eat.
We had talked about this over and over. We were saying, wouldn't it be nice with all of the fantastic food that once a week they come up and show, much like we're seeing right now, the wonderful food that they have. And here you are.
Excellent.
I
the
am
halibut, the
impressed.
shrimp, the risotto.
Let me know how you like it.
All right. You know I'm going to love it.
From approval, then I'll put it on the menu.
Thank you. Very good. That's Nancy with Othello's. Nancy,
I thought
who
I smelled something too. I
she's
was
one
like,
of the, yeah, you could smell that.
Is there cooking downstairs?
Nancy's the general manager here of this particular Othello's in Edmond. Her sister Jen is the general manager of the one
Ron
in
has clocked
Norman.
out.
What's that?
Ron has clocked out for the show.
Yeah, that does look awfully damn good.
Well, I'll
doesn't
tell you
it?
what I'm going to do. Just take a little piece of the
risotto,
cheesy risotto here.
I'll try it too. If
What's
you don't
so
mind.
crazy? It smells fabulous.
I know.
Oh man.
Oh God,
that is so good.
So you got to throw the fork down.
Oh, that's good.
Oh. You know what?
Look at it.
How soon can we do this show?
That's how you know it's good. You just give it that look.
All right, we got to wrap this up with, not wrap it up totally. We got Tribon and then Too Tough Trivia to wrap it up. But God, that looks good. That halibut with the shrimp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at the tomatoes right here.
And I'm hungry.
Look at the size of those shrimp.
Bigger than
Now,
my left foot.
Richard can't see it from where he is right now.
He's got the camera on it. Yeah.
That's a huge.
Well, not only does he have the camera on it, he also has a fork.
And I like my friend Mike Moshak says, "Hey, you horse's ass, how you doing?" Thank you, Mike. He knows us. All right, we got to do Tribon. This is where we give you 3 words. You got to come up with one word that works with the 3. Your answer must match ours.
Okay.
All right, these were the 3 from last week, or 2 weeks ago, I guess. The 3 words were pocket, dog, wheel. Did anybody get it?
Hot.
You got it. Richard got it. Hot. Hot pocket. Hot dog. Hot wheel.
I didn't
Good
get
job.
it. I think I just remember someone answered. Yeah.
Somebody else answered?
I can't take the credit.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Thank
excuse
you,
me.
though, Ron.
Let me. Okay, I was trying to take this bell back, but never mind.
All right, then let's go with this week's.
All
We
right.
have a whole 7 days to think about it. We'll come back next week with the answer for you. 3 words. You got to come up with one word that works with the 3. The answer or the words are cat, painter, out. Let me give it to you again. Cat, painter, out.
Cat,
painter, out. Those are the 3 words.
Whoa! I got it too.
All right.
You say painter?
Painter, P-A-N-T-I-E.
I'm going to write this down. Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's it.
all righty. Thank you very much.
Very good. All right. We got to get to Too Tough Trivia to wrap this bad boy up.
All right.
So that Ron and I can delve into this along with Richard, this halibut with the shrimp.
And you
a
know what?
Valentine's Day special at Othello's.
You know what might be good? We leave this camera on while we eat.
I don't know. We might be pissing people off.
All right. Your Too Tough Trivia question today. What animal is older than trees?
What animal's older than trees?
Turtles?
No.
No, not turtles. How about a gopher?
No.
Coral reef.
Koi fish?
No.
A goldfish?
No.
Does it live in the sea or on land?
Sea.
Ah.
You have to.
A whale.
No. Older than trees. There wasn't anything around here, around trees.
Algae?
It almost has to be in the ocean.
Algae?
No.
Octopus?
Coral reef?
No.
Squid?
No.
The Kraken?
Octopi?
Now, I will say this. Trees are 350 million years old. This particular animal is 400 million years old. I will go ahead and give it to you. I will go ahead and give it to you right now. I'll give you one.
It's
of the
not the
nicknames.
octopus.
No.
No.
Have you heard of the Meg?
No.
Okay. Shark.
A shark.
Oh, the mega.
The Meg, yeah.
The huge.
Yeah.
Colossus type shark.
Yeah.
Son
the
of a-
shark has been around before trees.
Unbelievable.
Not that the shark was going to come out of the water and do something with that tree or anything else, but he was here first.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
The
there
shark.
you go.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
The shark.
Let me say it again.
Have you ever, by the way, I said octopus. Have you ever eaten octopus? You ever had that?
Yeah.
I wondered if you eat octopus, do you pee ink? Because doesn't octopus make ink? Well, I don't know. I mean,
I thought he was going for another joke of the day.
no joke of the day. I'm just wondering. Curiosity.
No, you don't. You don't have the rest of the internal organs to make that ink.
Okay, you're just eating the basics.
But it's good. It's very good.
I don't know if I've ever had octopus.
It's good. You had squid?
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's something similar to squid.
Okay, Very well.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we got to wrap this thing up and get the hell out of here because
We're out of
done.
here. All right.
Yeah, that does it. So we'll get out of here. When you go out to do what you do it like we do, like Jack and Ron. Be the very best at what you do. Give it a whole bunch of percentage points. Oh, and we got to thank Nancy and all the people here at Othello's Italian Restaurant for letting us come in and take over this joint every week.
Hey, we can turn around right now and say, "Hey, Nancy, it's great." She could hear us.
Yeah, she's downstairs.
All right, let's do that.
I think
Right
she
now.
might be on a phone call.
Hey, Nancy, she what?
On a phone call.
It's great.
Thank you, Nance. There you go. There you go. Thank
okay.
you. So check out Othello's Italian Restaurant in Edmond and in Norman on Campus Corner. It's great. Downtown Edmond, good stuff. Also check out their other restaurant, Around the Corner Breakfast Restaurant, right next door to Othello's here in Edmond. And thanks to Flash Holler, the people who are the major sponsors of this broadcast. Go ahead and check out Flash Holler, FLASHOLR.com. FlashHoller.com. They're the ones who will transport stuff for you. And thanks to Richard for putting up with us today. Now, we're going to try this?
What a great guy. Okay. All right.
I'll try this piece here, and you try that
I'll
piece
try
there.
that one.
I'll let you know what I think here.
Well, let me get a little bit of tomato on there.
Oh, man. Ah.
Outstanding.
God, that's good.
Richard?
I can't eat. I don't eat fish or I don't
You
eat
don't?
seafood. I'm allergic to it.
Oh, hey, well, you know what? This
that's all
shrimp
for you
look.
guys.
Right, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, this shrimp looks pretty good too, man.
I know. You don't eat seafood at all?
I'm allergic to it.
Shellfish? No? All right, well.
Okay. Well,
Damn, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah.
Hey, could you go get us some water?
All right, we'll get out of here. You go out and do what you do like we do. What we do. Be the very, very, very best at what you do. Give it 110, 120, 130% effort. Like Jack and Ron, go out there. Give it hell.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Good day.